亲爱的观众，大家好，我是黄思诺，欢迎您收看今天的《American Odyssey》美国探索节目。在过去的30多年中，中国的经济的发展使中国成为世界的大国之一。中国的崛起对世界的和平和安全起了什么样的作用，成为大家关注的话题。今天呢，我在美国的首都华盛顿的乔治华盛顿大学 （George Washington University） 来参加一次高级的中美对话。好，我们今天呢去听听一些中美日三国的一些高级政界和学术界的人士对这个问题是怎么看待的。
In which Mike Lampton sat here before, maybe someone else said that we shouldn't lose sight of the other ways the U.S. and China can get together. There's some examples for it in the world which we should study. So I think we're heading into a very uncertain time in the relationship, but these last two things that I suggested are just two, I think, of the kinds of more positive, constructive examples where there is a fabric of common interest, a new kind of common interest that is growing out of the old fabric, which doesn't work anymore, doesn't sustain us. Things have changed. China's more powerful.
何博士您好，今天非常高兴见到您。一个简单的中美对话，您怎么成为中美日所有的这个超人、政界、商界、学术界的超人的一个大聚会呢？
这个一定要从各方面的着手。中美对话不单只是中国和美方，还有呢，中美是内涵是很多的，多元化。不单只是政府跟政府对话，民间还跟民间对话，企业跟企业对话，智库跟智库对话，还有学术界跟学术界的对话，我们是全面的对话才可以成功的。
确实是这样。这个何博士，最近我们知道中美关系呢，确实有很多的这个，就像您这个非常技巧的设计的这个晚餐一样，有冷有热，有高有低，有酸有甜。那现在对于中国的一些问题呢，美国的这个从政界还有公民呢，这个大众的公民都很紧张。但是这个中美对话呢，把我们中美之间的这个人民之间形成一个平等的对话。您是怎样把这个我就说这几个界的政界、商界还有学术界的巨人召集在一起的呢？
就是要他们明白，他们的对话不单只是他们本身的对话，还有全世界人们的幸福，都是在他们对话之中呢提炼出来的。他要有这个高度去看待这个课题，才有成果的。
我觉得您今天这个中美对话的成功啊，就说呢，他把很大的一个问题化小了，而且呢，您这个晚餐呢讲中国的故事非常有寓意，我真的是非常喜欢哈。第一道菜呢是一个简单的沙拉菜，但是您叫百花齐放。第二道菜呢又叫这个一个世界两个系统。所以呢，我就想到这个，您现在呢，在这个香港回归的时候，您做了很多工作。现在呢，在中美之间也起了这个 power broker 这个作用。您的
不是 power broker， 我们只是尽我们一点的勉力而已。因为我们看到这里面的重要性，还有逼迫性，所以我只希望大家都能够了解的这个问题的所在。所以大家都向这方面呢尽我们的一点的努力。
我觉得您也是个浪漫主义者哈。刚才呢，您提到了一件事情，一个呢是很面对现实，中美之间的关系呢是有冷有热，有酸有甜，而且呢未来呢也是你的希望是能够中美能够同床，这是不是同源哈？这是不是比较浪漫、比较这个乐观的一种看法呢？
可能说是乐观吧，但是乐观呢是一个理想，没有理想我们啥都干不了，一定有理想。但是理想也不是空谈，理想是一个方向，让我们朝着这个方向去努力。但是我们还是一步一脚印的往前面走。
这个我们现在换一个话题哈，从中美之间关系呢换一个话题，换到您个人。我认识您之后呢，对您的这个背景也非常非常的 fascinating。您的背景呢，实际上你是一个学者，而且你是个音乐家。您怎样从一个音乐家，从一个学者，从一个眼科的医生， 转变成一个政治家，现在呢可以成一个 politician， 而且呢又是成为一个 communicator， 而且呢我还是叫你一个 power broker。
哎呀，我这个不敢当，可能我还是觉得人生苦短啊，要做的事太多了啊，但是主要呢还是我老是怀着一个少年的心。儿童的心，儿童心是怎么呢？就是我还不知道我长大之后要干些什么，所以什么都试了试。
所以你感觉现在还没有长大哈，还有很多的
还没有
新的愿望和希望，能做更多的事情，是这样吗？
太多了，要做的事太多了，
那你最希望做的一件事是什么呢？
还没想到。
还没有想到，但我觉得您今天的这个作用啊，非常非常的出色。尤其呢，我在这个中美对话的这个讲台上，还有晚餐桌上呢，看到很多中美，还有这个包括日本，还有包括其他国家的一些，非常著名的，而且呢，在历史上有很分量的，包括这个美国的 CIA 的从前的这个 director 哈，美国的安全局的 director，他们呢都能够分享他们个人的经历，中美关系之重要。所以呢，我觉得您这个作用啊，在这个中美从前是在中国和澳门回归的这个关系上起作用，现在在中美这两大国的之间的关系又起了一个润滑的作用。
我觉得最重要的还是我们不断的努力去说中国故事，把中国故事说好。
这个中国的故事，我想一定会被更多的人，尤其像你这种软的方式去传播，因为中国的故事有5000年的故事，真的是有的故事讲，而且呢，现在是两个大国能够来作为伙伴，作为兄弟，能够来共同来为这个世界的和平做贡献。我想一定有更多的故事的。
故事是太多了，就是要我们每个人都讲每个人的故事，讲中国故事。在这个讲故事的过程之中，我们很快就可以了解到，同道的人很多，他们都不断的说自己的故事。
我希望明年呢和今后能够更多的听到中国的故事，而且呢中美的故事由于呢您做的一部分的努力，
你一定会。
好，谢谢你。
谢谢你。
Welcome to 中美对话, Mr. Yao.
How are you?
Well, could you give us just a quick introduction about your background?
Well, I'm Orville Schell, and I direct the Center in U.S.-China Relations at the Asia Society in New York City, and have been writing about China for many decades.
Well, I was very much interested in your perspective on China and U.S. relationship, especially from the historical perspective. Could you give us a very quick summary, historically, where we have been, where we are?
Well, I think it would be fair to say that the U.S. and China have been through many different incarnations, periods of deep hostility, to periods of ambiguity, to periods of considerable friendship. And I think we have lately been evolving sort of down the side of the mountain into a period of much greater tensions and much deeper sort of feelings of ambiguity about each side's sense of the intentions of the other.
Well, what do you think the rise of China, the impact on the world peace, relationship with the U.S., and on the bigger picture standpoint?
Well, I think the U.S., the rise of China has been quite extraordinary, and I've watched it, from the very beginning, having first arrived in China when Mao Zedong was alive and Cultural Revolution was still raging. And I think any time a power rises, of course, you have to have new power alignments, and people do get nervous, and you have to readjust relationships. But I do think, in general, the United States is more than open to making such adjustments. But I think at the same time, it's very important that China recognize that while it should be included in the power arrangements of the great powers, it has to be very careful about seeming to set up itself in opposition to the order of organizations that have been trying and not always succeeding to keep order in the world.
Well, one of the issues we're discussing today is a trust issue, the distrust between the U.S. and China. But you have a different perspective on that.
Well, I think, it's very important that the U.S. and China find ways to collaborate, because otherwise key problems like trade, nuclear proliferation, and particularly climate change will not be addressed. But at the root of our problems, of course, and our relationship is the fact we have very different political systems and different values. We're a democracy, not always a very effective one, but that's what we are. Our values are born of the Enlightenment and the French Revolution. China is a one-party Leninist state with a very different sense of value and a sense of politics. So there's a clash here. And the question is, how, despite those differences, can we still work together?
Well, you're absolutely right. In spite of differences, we have so much in common and so much at stake between the two countries. So in your opinion, how these two countries can work together?
Well, I think the first thing we can do is to be honest and frank about our differences. But on the other hand, not to try to sort of malign each other or to sort of conduct campaigns of sort of misinformation that departs from reality. It's one thing to say you disagree with another country's system and values. It's another thing to sow paranoia and to sow a lot of potential hatred. So that, I think, both sides have a lot of work to get over. But I think also there's tremendous sensitivity on both sides, but it's different. That if the United States criticizes China as being undemocratic, China has to learn that in this world where countries compete in marketplaces, they're also competing in political systems. And you have to be able to take that and move on and keep the relationship going, because there are other things that common interest areas that compel you to do so.
So what is your outlook of Sino-China relationship?
I have to say I'm not particularly optimistic, but I do think it's not a hopeless situation. I do think there's some hopeful signs, but there are an awful lot of other new points of tension which threaten to shake the relationship apart and make it very difficult to work on some of these questions we've been discussing.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your views with us.
A pleasure.
唐先生，欢迎您到今天的这中美对话的现场。
谢谢。
请问您是中国哪个部门的
我是商务部的所谓专家吧，日本问题专家。
日本问题专家。那谈到这日本呢，那自然我们要谈到这亚太的这个安全和这整个政局的问题。您的看法是怎样呢？
日本正在符合中国主义，它对国际社会的威胁越来越大，特别是对美国的威胁越来越大。
那您这个观点，我看是很多美国人也许是还没有意识到或者不能够接受的，因为日本呢是美国的这个联盟国哈，自从2战之后，您这个问题是怎么看的呢？
这个美国可以说是联盟国，客观上日本来看，他认为美国是把它当作殖民地，所以说他一直挣扎着要成为正常国家。什么叫正常国家？首先是没有美国的真实占领，第二是美国不当他的宗主国，不把它当作殖民地。所以说他现在在这方面所要做的准备工作已经做得差不多了。如果说政治上美国不知趣，不能够自己老老实实退走的话，他可能用的是第2次珍珠港实验室的这个偷袭手段来打败美国。
那咱们谈谈这个日本和中国的关系。这个最近呢，当然有钓鱼岛的争议，还有其他一些领土的争议。中日之间的关系对美国和世界的这个安全有什么样的影响呢？
中日之间的关系，从经济关系来说，自7年建交以来都还发展得比较正常。那么政治上来讲呢，日本它由于要符合中国主义，它需要找一些理由，所以说它的极右集团就宣扬中国威胁论，说中国要打我们了，我们不搞正事不行；中国要打我们了，你美国不支持我恢复中国主义不行。所以说呢，它是故意制造紧张空气， 但是制造紧张空气的同时，包括安倍自己写信，包括他派一些这个企业家各方面来跟中国做解释，也就是说告诉你这些东西我们是做给美国人看的，我们对中国的友好态度一直没变啊，我们是如何尊重中国的啊。所以说他在国际社会在中美之间是说一套做一套的。
您对中国崛起对亚太地区和世界的这个安全的影响、和平的影响怎么看呢？
说中国崛起，现在我们还是发展中国家，各方面从人均 GDP 到各方面来讲，跟发达国家还没有办法相比。但是呢，中国这个和平建设的势头是比较稳定。那么，首先中国是一个和平国家，我们没有威胁人家，我们也没有能力去威胁人家。倒是现在有些国家，他担心中国强大了以后会跟他平起平坐，所以要跟中国找些麻烦。所以在东海呀、南海呀，包括缅甸各方面制造一些麻烦，想把中国拖进纠纷的泥潭、战火的泥潭，让你没有办法安心搞经济建设。所以从这个角度来说，中国没有威胁人家的任何安全问题，是人家在威胁中国的安全。
那从您的角度来看呢，中美关系今后发展的这个趋势会怎样呢？
友好。为什么？两国都没有为敌的本钱。说你美国可以把中国当作敌人，你打吧，我也有核武器啊，你打我，我不打你啊，不都搞成两败俱伤了吗？是不是？所以这是一个美国人这个账他要算得清楚的吧。第二个，美国在国际社会他得罪了多少人呢？为什么大家都没有站起来共同来反对美国呢？因为群龙无首。他如果把中国逼到反美阵营去当领袖，你美国有好日子过吗？所以从这个角度来说，他也没有本钱去跟中国为敌啊，是吧？当然我们是没有实力，也没有必要，也没有这种打算。
所以今天这个会谈，中美之间的对话还是非常有意义的，增强两国之间的理解和了解，我想对这个亚太的和平和世界的和平都是有帮助的。
哎呀，您很聪明，真的，你这个认识很到位。就是对话比对抗好嘛，互相接触、互相了解、互相理解彼此的立场和态度。所以从这个角度来说，就要减少很多误会，减少很多冲突。所以说，这样的对话应该普及到各个阶层、各个系统，我觉得很有意义。
好，谢谢你，唐先生。Welcome to 中美对话。Bill, can you just quickly introduce yourself, please?
Well, I'm passionate about U.S.-China relations. I was a senior admiral in America. I was the second senior military person in America. And I have lived for the last 7 or 8 years a lot in China. And I do a lot of business that involves China-U.S. And so I'm very pleased to be at this CEFC dinner, which is an organization, as you know, Rose, that is sponsoring the China-U.S. relationship based in Hong Kong, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
Well, I know we're all passionate. Now, as a Chinese American, I'm passionate about the China-U.S. relationship for lots of good reasons. And can you just tell us from the historical perspective and why Sino-USA relationship is so important to us?
Well, the future for our children will be about the China-U.S. partnership. And so, as an ex-military man, I've been saying we should not be superpowers, we should be super partners. And I think that's because we care about our children and about our grandchildren. And if we continue down this pathway of trying to find a way to make the other side not as good as they are, then I think we do a disservice to our children.
Well, one of the topics we're talking today is a distrust. And those are, of course, challenges between the Sino-USA relationship. Can you share with us from your personal perspective, how can China and U.S. be partners and maintain the world peace?
So I think we need to try a lot harder I do a thing that I sponsor with East-West Institute and with Mr. Tung in Hong Kong's China-U.S. Exchange Foundation. And CEFC is very interested as well, that brings 5 very senior retired American generals together with 5 very senior Chinese generals to be together as friends. We've been doing this every year for 7 years, and so there are 10 of us in the United States one year, in China the next year, and we are great friends. I know their grandchildren by name. One of them was in Vietnam when I was in Vietnam, on opposite sides, and we have vowed that we will never let that happen again. So I care a lot about this, and I try to do as much as I can.
Well, we briefly talk about the flying tigers, and the Americans have made a huge contribution to the Chinese fighting against Japanese. So we have a great history in the past that we can work together.
We must not forget the flying tigers and the great people of China who valiantly defended against the Japanese. 800,000 Japanese troops and 15 million people or more killed in China. I think only 400,000 Americans were killed. We must not forget. There's a great new book that is written called The Forgotten Ally, China. And I think this behooves every American and perhaps every Chinese to look at that book, written by an Indian at Oxford.
Well, Bill, what is your outlook of a Sino-USA relationship?
I'm afraid it doesn't go as well as I would like it to. There are a lot of organizations like the one that sponsors this dinner tonight, CEFC, that is trying very hard to do good things. Mr. C.H. Tung's foundation in Hong Kong, and many of us care a lot, but I think it's not going well I can only speak for the U.S. government with the presidential elections. There's a lot of China bashing going on. I don't like that. I can tell you that I speak for the 5 generals who I mentioned to you, Rose. None of us like that. And we need to find a way that brings friends together to do the right thing, because it is the right thing.
Well, thank you for sharing your view and also your love with China with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Scott, welcome to 中美对话. Can you give us a quick introduction about who you are?
Scott Talon, Professor of Communication, American University, former mayor in California and news reporter as well, and been to China 6 times, so confident in speaking.
Wow, wonderful. What an experience background you have. The topic for today is about the rising of China, its impact on the world peace, and also, of course, Sino-China relationship.
It's almost tough to fathom the idea of a rising China because it's been around for 5,000 years. So it's not like new, America's new. And both of us need to get along more than we don't. And I think both countries are smart enough to get along more than we don't.
Well, there are lots of discussions today about distrust between China and the U.S. So what do you see from your perspective?
A lot of trust in any relationship comes from the lack of clear communications. And a long time ago, Robert Zoellick, who was then a Deputy Secretary of State, used the phrase stakeholder in a speech in China, and there was no equivalent transliteration of that word, and it took months to figure out what he meant, and they thought either maybe war or marriage. Still unsure, in the end they said, we think it means marriage. The point is, we each and all have to be careful in the words we use to make sure that it's clear to everyone, and I think that will help with trust, or at least not increase mistrust.
Well, I mean, we have an interesting history from the China and the U.S. relationship. We definitely had some great history. For instance, during the Second World War II, American flying tigers fought with Chinese to fight against the Japanese. So we have a period that U.S. and China could work together. Could you see that can happen now and in the future?
I think there's lots of opportunities to work together, whether it's actual trade issues, potentially, and China could surprise a lot of people with copyright issues. I think with pollution, China should be looking at a lot of stuff that's been tried in Europe and America and see what works, because there's a lot of concern now in China, and frankly, there can be more gains made with cleaner skies and waters in China than anywhere else. So I think in those areas, there's room to cooperate and certainly not have opposition and problems, or if there are opposition elsewhere, the cooperation will help.
What are the major challenges that you see between China and the U.S.?
I think it's an assumption on both sides that the other side wants to rule the world.
Okay, so what is the outlook? Now we have two world powers.
Hope for peaceful coexistence. I think, again, both are too strong and too big and too smart to make any big mistakes, large mistakes. And again, China, 5,000-year-old civilization. We're a young kid. We can both learn from each other.
Well, I assume that's your outlook for the future between the U.S. and China relationship.
The future will unfold itself. I will return to China again. I've been several times, and I think it's wonderful that many Chinese students come to America, Chinese tourists all over the world, learning about other parts. I mean, no matter what country you're from, there's still 200 other nations, and they each have something to offer.
Thank you so much for sharing your view on China and U.S. relationships with us.
不客气。
好，感谢您收看今天的 American Odyssey 美国探索节目，也希望你对中国在世界所扮的角色能够关注。好，我们下一周同一时间、同一地点再见。